Hey, Sooner football fans. This is your Sooner football fans podcast. You got Terry, Rob, and Caleb here. Boomer up.
Boomer Terry.
Boomer Caleb.
Boomer.
We are coming at you from the wonderful podcast palace in beautiful Norman, Oklahoma.
Where we are not affiliated with the University of Oklahoma.
But we do have some eligibility left. And remember to go follow, like, whatever you're listening on right now. Hit that follow, like button. Check out our new website. It's www.soonerfootballfans.com. Has links to everything. Our podcast page, iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play Music, YouTube, and directly to our podcast page. So, no reason for you not to be able to find us now. Right, Caleb?
Easy.
So,
enough.
Rob?
Sir.
How you been doing? Feeling better?
Lot better. Lot better. When big boys get, sick, man, everything's bad, okay? I just want you to know.
Hey, I was proud of Rob. Everybody should be proud. Last week when James Hill was here, Rob barely made it through.
Oh, man. It was I love James to death. I do. He's like tops on my charts, but there was a couple times where I almost had to say, I'm sorry, guys, I have got to go. But I stuck through it, so hopefully James doesn't think I'm weird, though.
But, so beforehand, a couple of things have gone on since the last podcast. Caleb, you were talking about the new Spider-Man movie.
Oh, yeah. I saw the new Spider-Man movie this weekend. Enjoyed it a lot.
And for those of y'all who don't know Caleb very well, Caleb is like the biggest movie buff.
Yeah. I go movies at least. I try to go. I'll probably go every weekend. But yeah, this is a movie I want to see.
Do you have one of those movie pass things?
I have one, and then they got closed down.
They did?
But I don't think they expect people to buy it. That many people bought it, and they weren't making any money because you can use it multiple times. So you have to pay $10 a month.
So did you just lose your money then?
I just canceled it. They just canceled it. It's just $10 a month. It's a subscription. So
what'd you get with it?
You just go see any movie pretty much for like $10 a month. You can go you just gonna go twice in a day.
So $10 a month. They were probably losing some money.
Yeah, losing a lot of money with that. That's why I said it. I'm surprised they stayed open as long as they did. Yeah, I went and saw the movie though. I liked it a lot. Like I said earlier, it's my personal favorite Spider-Man movie. It's really good.
But it's a cartoon.
Yeah, well, it's like a comic. That's what's cool about it. It's like a comic book. Like actually does like comic flipping pages, and it's pretty cool. It's a really cool movie. So I really liked it.
So we're also talking about a weird day in sports yesterday.
Definitely.
Yeah, Steelers finally get over the Patriot hump. Finally.
The Bears finally beat Aaron Rodgers. That never happens.
And they're the division winners, aren't they?
They won the division for some playoffs in 8 years. But
what happened to the Cowboys?
They got zeroed out.
First time in 20 years? If that longer?
Long time.
Long time. Man, what's going on with the Cowboys? I mean, I'm not a Cowboys fan, but
Closet.
But you sit back and look and go, something's not right. The Cowboys have got to turn it around.
Pretty
sometime.
simple. It's two things. It's Dak Prescott and
Gotta
it's
get
the
rid of
coach.
Jerry Jones. Gotta get rid of Jerry Jones.
It's Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is the problem.
I think get rid
Jerry
of
Jones is the problem.
They need to get rid of that coach. I mean, they get rid of the coach, and Jerry Jones isn't leaving. But if they sign Dak Prescott to a huge deal, I'll be happy. But if I was Cowboys, I'd be pretty angry about that because Jerry Jones says he's going to sign him to a max contract. So
Baker brought the Browns a win in Denver for the first time since like '92.
He's won 6 wins in his first year.
Yeah, it's like the year Baker was born or something.
Yeah,
before.
Actually, it was before that. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and I swear I didn't watch the game, but I flipping around the channels, and it was like a national championship game. How they had all Baker was at the not at the podium, out with the NFL guys and people in the crowd.
Young Baker.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. Those Browns fans are excited.
Oh yeah,
They should be. I mean, it's the first time in forever. They just got to get a coach now. I think they get a right coach in there. They're a pretty dangerous team. So they're real young. They're young and confident, which is.
Well, they ought to be good. They've had the first round pick forever.
for 13 years.
I mean, it's just a given. If you're going number 1 in the draft, you're going to the Browns.
Yeah.
So
just get the Browns are the Lions of the 2000s.
Yep.
Because the Lions used to get they got Steve Owens, they got Billy Sims and
Ndamukong Suh, Barry Sanders,
and just drug them into the ground.
Just went there to die.
Yeah. But the other big thing that happened this weekend in sports was the start of the bowl season, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Bowl season kicked off. with a round of nobody gives a crap bowls.
Yeah, but I still watched some of them.
I watched some of them.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Celebration Bowl at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia? North Carolina A&T at Alcorn State.
No, I didn't catch that one. I did not catch that one.
Well, A&T beat Alcorn State 24-22. How about the Cure Bowl at Camping World Stadium in Orlando, Florida? Did you catch that one?
Well, it depends on who's in it.
Tulane and Louisiana.
No, I just seen the highlights.
Tulane thumps them 44. Tulane beats Louisiana 41-24.
No, that's the Green Wave, right?
The Green Wave versus the Raging Cajuns.
No, wait. Where's Tulane at? Is that in Louisiana?
It's in Louisiana.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Where-
two
where
teams
was the
from.
bowl?
I know that's Orlando.
Alrighty.
They could have just played at the local high school stadium and probably
Right.
saved everybody money. The New Mexico Bowl, Utah State and North Texas,
You know what? Utah State's pretty good.
and they just
so
beat,
North Texas too.
they just beat the
Yeah.
dog crap out of North Texas,
Yeah.
52-13. You know what I think probably happened? What's coach's name down there? Played at OU.
Seth Luttrell.
Yeah, Seth Luttrell. Last week, the big thing at Kansas State happened.
Right.
Wanted to take his whole staff.
They said no.
He wanted to take his whole staff with him. They said no. I just don't think they were paying much attention to.
Well, to be fair,
the New Mexico Bowl.
Utah State's coach got hired by Texas Tech, so
Well, okay, yeah.
that's why I thought it was kind of like an even match right
Hey,
there.
Where did Smarty Pants down there at Tech go? He went to USC?
He went to
Yeah,
USC,
USC is offensive
which I think that's pretty good hire right there for them.
The Las Vegas Bowl, Fresno State and Arizona State. Now, I watched this game. It's a pretty good game. Fresno, the Bulldogs beat the Sun Devils 31-20.
Yeah, Fresno's pretty good. They're on the brink of making like the big bowl game, but UCF didn't lose. So
Then the Camellia Bowl at the Crampton Bowl or Crampton Stadium in Montgomery, Alabama, Georgia Southern and Eastern Michigan.
Now, Georgia Southern, isn't that the one that has the band that's real good, real popular?
I think so. Not comment, but I think so.
Georgia Southern won 23-21. The New Orleans Bowl, Appalachian State versus Middle Tennessee State. Now, isn't Appalachian in Tennessee?
Yeah,
Yeah, see, they had to drive to New Orleans to play each other.
I'm pretty
Remember
sure
when they beat
enjoyed that,
Michigan?
But they beat Middle Tennessee State 45-13. So, any shockers in your bowl picks?
Well, I think North Texas game dominated was pretty shocking.
Yeah.
I thought a lot of people were picking North Texas to win that game straight up, and they just got destroyed.
Yeah, like I say, Utah State was
Yeah,
Pretty
pretty
good.
salty.
good.
I remember when Oklahoma played Utah State here and they had trouble with them.
Yeah.
Do you remember that game? And when they were going to, I think you were here at the house, they were going to commercial and they were showing Stoops, and Stoops was getting on to the team, and you could hear Stoops go, "It's Utah State, for crying out loud," as they went.
Right. Yeah.
But we got a couple other bowls that are coming up, 2 more bowls that are coming up. One tomorrow night, the Boca Raton Bowl, Northern Illinois versus UAB.
Who you got?
UAB is an awesome story, so I'm going for
Yeah.
UAB. UAB's program got shut down 2 years ago, and
Yeah.
they back. They won I think they won their conference.
Back-to-back years, isn't it? Now?
Oh, they won this year, and they're like, I think they're like 100-1 like pick to win it too. Like, it was huge. It was like huge, like, because 2 years ago they didn't have a football program. Sorry, that was pretty funny.
That's good stuff right there.
Oh, but guess where the Boca Raton Bowl, where it's played at?
Boca, Florida.
Yeah.
That's where you see it with the
Howard
It does that
Schnellenberger Field.
Oh,
this guy.
Howard Schnellenberger Field. And then we got the Frisco Bowl down in Frisco, Texas at Toyota Stadium. San Diego State versus Ohio. Who you got in that one?
I got OU. DOU, I guess.
Rob, you got any?
I really couldn't pick a.
But I did. This right here. This is
North Dakota?
North Dakota and is it North Dakota State and
I don't know. There's a Jackrabbits. Or
it was
South Dakota.
South Dakota. Yeah, that was a good man. North Dakota. Kansas State's throwing a fit about getting that guy. He's a pretty salty coach, man.
He knows what he's doing.
I don't know what they're unfit about. Like, it's just like he's won 2 national championships,
And he beat them a couple of years
he
ago.
beat them. I think, yeah. So I mean,
right?
And Kansas, didn't he? Or is it Kansas that he turned around and beat the next year?
I think he beat. I think it might be Iowa State.
Yeah, Iowa State. And but I was watching the game, and they were talking about his program there. He redshirts everybody. No freshmen play.
Interesting. Not sure if that will work in the Big 12.
But it's just simply because he wants them development, and he teaches them that when it's your turn, it's when you step up.
So he gets Adrian Peterson and he redshirts him.
That's probably why he never gets Adrian Pearson, probably.
Yeah, that's a good point,
He
Rob.
never gets.
So what about grad transfers? So he gets redshirt them too?
I don't know. I mean,
Like transfers over.
I just know that they said that he redshirts everybody.
I mean, that probably works Division 2 because no one leaves early. They're all stay 4 years, but
Yeah,
maybe if you dealt with Kansas State, I don't know. It's just you get better athletes at Kansas State or at North Dakota State.
yeah. But North Dakota State's they play in the dome. They got their own dome.
I mean,
There.
game day went there twice. That's how good that coaching guy was.
Yeah.
So I mean,
They got to play in a dome because this time in North Dakota it's negative 37 degrees.
Yeah, who lives there? I mean, come on. What are you thinking?
But anyway, one of the things that I wanted to talk about before we get into the OU Alabama matchup in the semifinals is, Rob, I talked to you about this the other day. Forbes came out with their 2018 what's your college team worth? The top 25. What's the top 25 teams worth? Oklahoma comes in.
let me guess.
Go ahead.
I'm going to say 4.
6.
That's close.
And guess who comes in first?
Ohio State.
Nope.
Notre Dame?
A&M.
Well, I guess
I
they
knew
got,
that.
they got Jimbo in there, so they got probably more money.
Yeah, but
That's crazy.
this revenue is off the 3-year average from 2014, 15, and 16 out of Forbes magazine.
Ohio State in the top 5.
Ohio State is number 5. Oklahoma is number 6. The Texas Longhorns are number 2.
A&M beat them at something finally.
But their revenues, A&M's revenue is $148 million, and there's $107 million of that in profits. So they ain't spending no money on anything right now. Third is Michigan Wolverines. Fourth is Alabama with $127 million a year in revenue. Michigan is $127 a year, but they got a bigger profit margin. Ohio State's $120 million. Oklahoma Sooners are $118 million. Notre Dame $112 million. $112 million. Auburn $112 million. LSU $112 million, and the Florida Gators $112 million.
Oklahoma State didn't make the list.
No.
Sounds like a lot
Only
of
3
SEC
Big 12 teams did.
Yeah.
A lot of SEC schools, it sounds like.
Who's the third Big 12 team, Caleb? We got Oklahoma, Texas, and
I'm trying to think.
Probably not who you would think.
I'm going to guess Texas TCU.
Texas Tech.
I was going to say Texas Tech. I knew it was a Texas team.
But
Dang it! I was going to say Tech.
But
too.
here's the big thing: the difference in revenue between 1 and 25 is almost, $98 million.
Almost 100 million.
Yeah,
That's big.
that's big. Texas Tech.
And you know something? Those two schools are not very far from each other.
Texas Tech revenue is $60 million, and A&M is $148 million. Does anybody on this list surprise you, Rob?
I don't. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, South Carolina, I wouldn't think they would be that high
Yeah.
at number 15.
Washington Huskies, I wouldn't think they'd be at 19.
Well, when they're good, they get money and
Yeah.
home.
I guess now, what does this entail? Where's the revenue stream come from?
It's everything, the donations, gates, bowls, everything.
That's why A&M's won, because donations. Once they hired Jimbo, they
Not
got a crap ton of
enrollment,
money
right?
went through in there.
Huh?
Enrollment, is that part of it?
No, it's
Because
just
Longhorns are almost double what we are.
right. No, it is based off of strictly revenue in, revenues coming in, ticket prices, concessions, donations, everything.
Okay. 10 SEC schools in the top 25.
Yeah.
You wonder why everyone gets hyped up so much on the media. All that money.
All that money. And I wanted to talk about this because I was actually listening to the radio the other day, and we've all been proponents for the playoff system, right?
I think that it looks neat and all that, but I don't think I really want one.
I mean, instead of, are you good with 4?
Yeah.
You're good with 4, Caleb?
I want 8.
8. I would be good with that. I was even going to 16. But see, I was listening to K-Ref the other day, and I was listening to Teddy Lehman talk about this, and it got me to doing some thinking. And I did, that's bad. Okay. The way they will never be able to have the playoff system that we have now, and even if we take it to 8 teams, will not be fair. It will never be fair.
Right.
Because it's human views on who's the top 4 teams. Do we agree on that?
No, yeah, absolutely.
And the BCS wasn't real because it was a bunch of computer stuff that changed every year and put the top 2 teams in. Okay? Which, there
was a lot more room for manipulation than
Right.
I think, though.
Right. The problem is that college football is not an even playing field.
Nope.
Okay? Because you have a salary cap. You have so much money that you can spend as a football team. All this other stuff in the NFL that you can't do in college football. So it's subjective. The playoffs are subjective. And if you would just do it to 18, if you'd say, okay, we're going to broaden it, which I've always been for, 8 teams, they couldn't do it by being subjective, by voting people in, because you're going to have the same problem. The only way that they could do it is to make it a championship team, make it a conference championship. That's the only way that it's not subjective. You win your conference, you're in. You don't win your conference, you're out. Okay? Alabama wouldn't have made it last year. They wouldn't have won the national title.
Right.
Okay, well, they were the best team in the country. Well, they lost. They didn't get into the playoffs. How many times can we say that a Super Bowl team didn't win the Super Bowl? The Patriots a couple of years ago that got beat by the Giants were undefeated going in. They were the best team in football, but they got beat. One game, that's all it takes. All y'all out there with the one game, every game matters in college football. That's why it would still matter. Every game would still matter. But I got to looking at the bowl championship series and the playoffs, and get this: how many teams have competed? The BCS came into play 1994 and ended in 1994 and ended in 2014. Okay? Right? 2013. Okay. How many teams played in the BCS title game in that time span?
I don't know.
So it was 12 years, right?
I'm say different teams. No, OU was there 3 times. All-State was there twice.
15 teams is all that ever played in the BCF championships. Okay, even though there was 12, even though there should have been 24, but the same teams were getting there because why? It's subjective. They were putting people in. College football playoffs have been going on for 5 years, so that means there's 20 spots in 5 years that teams could have got.
I think 7 teams been there.
10 teams have been there. So basically.
So what are you saying, Cotton?
Okay, what I'm saying. Am I boring you right?
I mean, OU Bama.
You're going somewhere. I'm just
as long as it's subjective, it's going to be the same teams in it. Yeah. Okay.
OU Bama of course has been 3 times already.
Alabama has been in a combined 8 BCS college football playoffs, 3 BCS appearances, 5 college football playoff appearances, all 5 of them. They've been in all 5, and they've won 5 championships. Oklahoma is second. We've been in 7 combined, counting this year, combined BCS and college football. We were in 4 BCSs, and we've been in 3 college football. And our record is dismal. It's 1-5.
Right.
Okay. Florida State has been in 5. They've been in 4 BCS, 1 college football playoff. Ohio State's 5 with 3 and 2. Clemson is 4. They never made a BCS, but they've been in 4 college football. Notre Dame has been to 2 BCS, 2 combined, 1 BCS, 1 college football. Oregon, the same. Okay. That's 7 teams, okay, with 33 appearances. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well,
12 teams with 19. So those 7 teams, Alabama, Oklahoma, Florida State, Ohio State, Clemson, Notre Dame, and Oregon, have dominated the subjective field that we have right now because it's subjective. Instead of playing yourself into it, you're voted into it.
yeah, but we're better than all those teams.
Yeah.
That's what happens to recruit, though, too. Like, unlike the NFL, you can recruit. You can have endless amount of talents in the college. You can't have that in the NFL. You recruit, like, Alabama has the best players coming in every year. Like, and Oklahoma has the best players coming in the Big 12 every year. That's why we win every year.
Right. But what I'm saying is that unless that should always stay the same. But unless you're going to break it down and say conference champions, you're going to have these same 7 teams, okay, rotating their way through it because some of them are going to drop down and then they're going to come back. But all in all, it's been dominated by 7 teams. One of those 7 teams are almost always in it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm just glad we're one of them.
Yeah, but you can go back and look. You know, we wouldn't have made one the year we lost to Kansas State and played in LSU.
Right.
Shouldn't have made it. We shouldn't have been playing in that game. You lost the game. I was one who said that.
We should have won both of those games.
Yeah, we should have won both of them.
Just FYI.
But you can't put all these teams. You can't let people vote to put 8 teams in a playoff because right now all the coaches, even Lincoln Riley, came out. The reason why I brought it up, Lincoln Riley and several other coaches have come out and said, yeah, I'm for more playoffs, you know, a bigger playoff. Well, why? One, it's recognition, okay? Mm-hmm. They get to say, hey, we made the playoffs, okay? Oklahoma right now is getting to say, hey, we've been the top 4 teams 3 out of 5 years, mm-hmm. Okay? Alabama gets to say we've been the top 4 team 5 out of 5 years. Mm-hmm. Clemson, 4 out of 5 years. That's a recruiting tool. Now you go to 8 teams, now everybody makes playoffs. The other 2 is money. Generates money for all the conferences, generates money for all the teams, and also generates money for the coaches. Coaches are sitting here going, wait a second. Saban and Dabo Sweeney and Stoops and now Lincoln Riley, they're getting this college football playoff bonus. Well, I want a bonus.
I'm sure you do. Coach better. That's all I can say.
Now they want to make it to 8 teams. Now, okay, well, I'll get a playoff bonus, and then I'll get a Final Four bonus, and then I'll get a national championship. So it's all generating about money. But they can't, if they leave it the way it is and make it subjective to where they have a committee vote these teams in, it's going to be the same 10 teams rotating through. Oklahoma, I tried to be Lincoln Riley a little bit today, but I'm not nearly that smart. But I am pretty good with a spreadsheet. Right now, if you combined the BCS and college football playoffs, okay, since it's been into play, Alabama has made it into the playoffs, whether you call it BCS or, mm-hmm. the college football playoff, every 2.5 years. Okay. Oklahoma every 2.86 years. Florida State every 4 years. Ohio State every 4 years. Clemson every 5 years. Notre Dame and Oregon ended out at 10. So really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams will be in this thing every 5 years. It'll just be constant.
They just let us go every year.
Exactly. Alabama has 7 national titles out of it. Oklahoma 1. Florida State 2, Ohio State 3, Clemson 3, and Notre Dame 2. I'm sorry. The championships. Where did my championships go? Oh, championships. Alabama 5. My bad, guys. I was reading the wrong column. Alabama 5 championships. Oklahoma 1, Florida State 2, Ohio State 2, Clemson 1, Notre Dame and Oregon 0.
And you got Florida 1-2 in there too.
Yeah, you got
Texas 1-1.
But see, Florida hasn't been in a college football playoff.
There's those 2 years, I think. There's the 2 years of Tebow.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
but they would make, right now the way it's going since the college football playoff has been in, Alabama is getting it every year. Oklahoma gets in
cheating.
Oklahoma gets in it every 1.6 years. Florida State once every 5 years. Ohio State every 2.5 years, and Clemson 1.25, and Notre Dame every 5 years. So you're sitting here looking, it's still going to be it's going to be the same teams. I didn't even know that. Let's see here. Let me find my BCS line here. I don't remember Virginia Tech playing in a BCS title game. Do you?
No.
But they did.
Huh.
I guess it's Michael Vick, I'm guessing. I think it was the first
Nebraska played in one. Tennessee played in one.
Tennessee won one.
Yeah, Tennessee, they're 1-1. USC played in two.
Mm-hmm. Well, 3, but one didn't count, right?
Yeah. Miami played in two. Auburn played in two. So
Auburn's 1-1.
But you really look at it, it's been dominated by Oklahoma, Alabama, Florida State, Ohio State, Clemson, Notre Dame, and Oregon. You could really kind of throw – LSU hasn't made the college football playoffs, but they did play in 3 BCS title games.
1-2.
And 1-2. You see what I'm saying? You can't vote it. You can't vote people into the playoffs. You've got to play into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be the same. And that's what the discussion was about. You're just going to have the same teams over and over.
Well, even if, for instance, this year, if Ohio State gets in over us, it's the same circle that you're talking about.
Exactly.
So if you expand that out to, say the top 8, then whoever's 9, they're going to think, well, we're better than 8.
Right.
We got a better argument than 8 does.
Right, but that's what I'm talking about. Is it's subjective. You can't let people vote it in. You've got to play into the playoffs. It's got to go to conference champions. That's the only way you can get in for it to be. Now it's a true. It'll change it up every year because, Oklahoma, we've won the last 4.
So it would be 4 teams, 1 team gets a bye then? Because only 5 conferences.
Well, you'd have to make more conferences, but I don't think that's going to happen. But you see what I'm saying? I mean, the system that we have, I was for, I'm for 8 because it's just more football. But we're still going to come, does anybody believe UCF is 8 right now?
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody believe UCF would beat Alabama?
I think maybe beat someone once, and that'll be it.
Right.
That's
You're going to have that go.
They beat a team once. Like they can 1 year,
They
1
beat
team
Auburn last year.
They beat Auburn last year. Beat Bama last year. Who also beat Georgia. So I mean, they can. Any team can beat any team. Any given. I don't think they can win it all, but they can mess up the whole bracket though.
So if they were in a Power 5 conference, they would never make it.
No, if they would. Well, you heard UCF, Florida offered them a home and home, and they turned it down.
Are you sure it was a home and home?
It was a home and home. They offered them home and home.
Because something about it they didn't like.
Well, UCF just. I don't think UCF wanted to do it.
I think it was initially offered them 2 home games at Florida, but then they said, okay, we'll
do home.
We'll do a home and home with you if you'll accept it, and they wouldn't accept it. I could be
right. Because UCF is one that's sitting there begging for it, and Florida was like, well, you don't. Playing you gives us no benefit.
Right.
There's no benefit
nothing.
For any Power 5 team to play a team like UCF.
Right.
It was like Boise.
Because if you beat them, then you were supposed to, and if you lose to them, then oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So there's no benefit for Florida to play UCF unless they're going to get money out of it.
Right.
And if they go to UCF, who I don't know what their stadium holds, but it can't be all that much, the payout is it's going to be atrocious. Of course, they probably play teams every year on their schedule because the SEC schedule is weak. Well,
they have that one bye week pretty much every week. So I mean, at the end of the year, like week 13 or whatever, or week 12, they had that bye week.
I mean, I'm sorry.
It was like Citadel, like the Bama plays, like the whole SEC plays against teams like that week because they need to rest up for the rival week next week. So what the reasoning is, it's so physical in SEC, they need to rest up.
Did you research? I mean, is that a fact that Florida say, yeah? Hey,
Florida, I know Florida offered them. I don't know if it was a home and home or a home home.
Or might be a home neutral.
Yeah,
Something like
but
that, too.
UCF turned them down. I mean, they had. I know that they offered them.
From what I've seen, UCF turned them down because the deal wasn't good for UCF.
Right.
Like they weren't going to get a home game. All right, maybe I read that into it and
Yeah.
it wasn't there. So
I'm not, but I know that they turned them down. But I mean, if my point is, if UCF, if you're wanting to become an elite program and stuff, you got to take that game,
even if it's bad for you,
if it's bad for you.
right?
I mean, Oklahoma played Ohio State back-to-back years. It was bad for Oklahoma, but it ended up being good for them.
Yeah.
I mean, last year the win against Ohio State put us in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You've got, I mean, everybody talked about Kansas State back in the day. Never played anybody. Baylor never played anybody.
And they were a joke because of it.
Yeah.
I mean, so not last year, but the year before, or the year before that, whenever it was, when we played Tennessee, we didn't know that they were going to be in a down year.
No.
Tennessee's, year in and year out, a pretty strong program,
Yeah.
pretty strong SEC program.
Right.
Or this year with UCLA.
Yeah, UCLA.
UCLA, another thing, yeah.
It's a name program that, hey, we're going to – that's what I like about their scheduling. There's always a Power 5 name. I mean, we've got Nebraska coming up. We've got they dropped LSU.
Oh, they did?
I think so, didn't they, Caleb?
I don't think
They may have moved it around,
moved
but I think we
around.
got a Michigan coming up. We got Tennessee again.
Yeah.
We had Florida State a couple of years ago.
Michigan's going to be cool. I want a big house. That'd be awesome.
But, I mean, that's the thing is, they schedule these things 8 and 10 years out. You don't know if the teams are going to be – you're expecting those teams to be good.
I mean, how long ago was it that we had Alabama home and home?
Oh, yeah.
Like 2001, 2002.
Yeah, something like that. And, those were great games for us.
Great games.
Especially, but, I mean, they were good in, entertaining games. And teams like UCF, they can't turn down if Florida calls you and says, hey, here you go. We're going to pay you $1 million to come and play us. If you beat us, you get to say, hey, we're stepping up. If you don't, move on. UCF has got Boise State started taking games like that when Peterson was there.
Yep. They had to. They had to take road games because no one else wanted to play them.
Yeah. And nobody wants to go play on the blue field in Boise, Idaho. But, I mean, they beat Oregon. And wasn't Oregon ranked number 1 or 2 that year?
They're pretty high up ranked. That's when Blunt hit the guy in the face.
Yeah.
But I agree with what you're saying. If they want to be in the conversation, they have got to go and play that game.
Right. And that's what Boise State started doing. And Boise State went to Oklahoma State this year.
Yeah.
They were winning everything.
Of course, it's not really worked out for Boise State.
Yeah. But I mean that's our point.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I mean, they can jump up and beat an Oklahoma, in a bowl game, but can you beat Oklahoma year in and year out?
Absolutely not.
No. You can't play, so what they did, instead of joining a stronger conference, they started, they played the Oregons, the Oklahoma States, started getting names out there that Boise State is still playing. But, it's not working out for them, and it wouldn't work out for UCF.
But you know what? I think for overall, they're a better program for it.
Oh, yeah.
Because now they're starting to creep into they're still not getting higher talent, bigger star players, but they're more of a national name now.
Yeah.
Or I think they are.
But, I mean, being a subjective playoff, though, and voting people in, you would have the situation like a UCF that might jump up and bite Alabama. Might. Not this year, but,
last year they could beat Clemson last year.
Yeah, Clemson. Who's the number 7 team this year?
It's Michigan, I think.
Michigan. My point being is if you took the SEC, Big 12, Pac-10, Pac-12, Big 10, just take them all and go, here you go. You win your conference, you're in, you're going to play for the title.
Yeah. So who is UCF matched up with this year in the bowl game?
LSU.
Okay, so we'll get to see right here.
Yeah.
Because LSU's not bad, I think. Offensively, they're not all that great, but right, good defense.
Yeah.
It's all like the Auburn game last year. It's a lot similar to that.
Yeah.
It is a lot similar to that. So I mean, for them, it worked out good because they don't want an offense like Oklahoma's to come in because, we just eat them up.
Yeah.
So it's best that they play a team like LSU who's got good defense, which, UCF has a pretty good offense.
Yeah.
So we'll get to see.
And, their quarterback is out. He broke his leg, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's.
But they're outmanned across the board.
Yeah, they're outmanned. But
so if they win that game,
yeah, I mean, it'll give them more credit, for next year, and then instead of being number 10 like they were last year, and this year they're number 8, they'll be number 6 next year if they can go undefeated.
Yeah, and if you get a couple big boys on your schedule and you beat them, then you're in the conversation. I mean, that's just how it works.
So we want to talk a little bit of Alabama.
Did you see D.D. Westbrook's punt return for a touchdown?
I saw a little bit of it. Yes,
that's all. I'm pretty mad about
a little bit of it. It was like 3.2 seconds from end zone.
I saw 0.12 seconds. So
man, he was flying.
I saw it. I have him on my fantasy team, but they don't count for kickoff returns. I was pretty mad.
You realized that it was an Oklahoma punter that punted it to him.
It was Trustway, right?
Trustway. Yeah. And then he goes, how far was it, Caleb?
It was like a 70-yard touchdown.
Is that all?
Return? Maybe 80.
It was like 82.
It was pretty far. But
I mean, when he turned on the Jets,
I think
was
he
like,
touched really.
It was impressive, dude. I ain't kidding.
Joe Mixon's been killing it this year too.
Yeah, Joe Mixon.
Yeah,
and Joe Mixon. I think he's leading the ACC in rushing yards. He's missed 2 games with injuries, or I think more than 3 games with injuries. He's leading the ACC in rushing yards. So, he's looking good in the NFL. Then that one kid says Sterling's trash.
No, did you see that? I was like, what?
You really think he's trash? You kept saying it too.
Y'all really got to edit that out and get a kid in there that likes Sterling, right?
But I mean, I loved how funny. Sterling was with it. I mean, he just played along with it. Oh, you think he's trash, really? Yeah, man, he's trash. And then when they pulled off, he goes, "I'm gonna have to get cut some more balls or something in practice."
I guess.
What the kid did, we realized.
Smack you around a little bit. Calling Sterling trash.
But
so hey, before we get into that, let's talk about something I think is really intriguing. And I heard, I think it was Teddy Lehman talking about it. Where is Kyler at on your all-time OU quarterbacks list?
If he wins it all this year, you might have the best year ever.
Yeah, if he wins it all this year, But the thing with Baker is Baker was here for
3 years.
3 years. Yeah. Really only should have been here for 2, but got that extra year. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But in your opinion, how does it compare to, say, the 08 Bradford year, which was just, I mean, they were calling that the best offense ever.
No, this year's getting called that now. This year's offense is getting called
that.
And
they were saying it last year about OU's offense.
Well, this year's offense is better than last year's offense.
Yeah.
I mean, everywhere. It's just, I don't know. I've been saying it for I like Kyler more than Baker, but that's not popular opinion around here. People here, they love Baker. It's been 3 years. He's more attached to him. But I mean, Kyler, I think Kyler's is better. I think throwing wise, Baker might be a little bit better, but I think Kyler is better at everything else. I think he has a stronger arm. I think he's definitely faster. I think his pocket presence is just as good. So I mean, it's the small things. I think Kyler can break a game open in more ways than Baker can. I'm saying a lot because Baker is really good at that.
Yeah. Oh, man.
It's an interesting conversation because, I mean, it was going to take a whole lot to get Bradford out of that number 1 spot for me because he was just, if you remember that 08 year, man, he couldn't miss. He was so.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not that, I'm not a Baker hater because he's at the Browns, everybody, but let's say Baker's aura was Baker's attitude. Mm-hmm. It's a lot like Joe Washington, from guys from our era, Rob. He wore the silver shoes.
Compare Baker to Bosworth.
Yeah, Bosworth. Brass, mouthy, la 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 la, but he could back it up.
Yeah. You need to go root for the basketball team.
Yeah,
or whatever he said. I can't remember. Yeah, that's what we like to see, right?
Yeah, but you got guys like Bradford. You got let's just look at quarterbacks who've won national titles: Jamel Holloway, Steve Davis, Josh Heupel. Josh Heupel probably did more with less talent than any quarterback that Oklahoma's ever had.
For sure,
he was probably the least talented quarterback. Physically,
the worst arm.
Yeah, but mentally he was probably smart. That dude dissected a defense.
Coach's son.
Yeah, when he walked up, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he could call his own audibles. What's his name? Mangino would give him a set of plays, but yet he was able to. They trusted him to call his own audible. Basically, if he saw something, and he had that progression, he would, he could point to a receiver and say, "No X."
Mangino or Leach?
I'm not sure.
Well,
which
Leach
one.
was there for 1 year.
Yeah, Leach was
and then
there.
Mangino.
And then Mangino won, but I think Josh Heupel, and let's face it, the 2000 team was probably the least talented national championship team we've ever had.
Offensively?
Yeah, offensively.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, and Josh Heupel did more with less talent, personal talent, than any quarterback we ever had.
Would you say that team was a little bit, you know how they always kind of write it off as, that's a spread team?
No, I think that team, when we had Bubba Burcham on, after they, beat, after they beat Nebraska and after they beat Kansas State, that team became a team of destiny. There was nobody going to beat that team that year.
Well, the defense was a lot better than they were.
And you watch the 30-on-30 with the Hurricanes and Butthead from Ada. Shockley. Oklahoma didn't want to play us. They knew it. I know guys on the team. They're like, man, we're glad we didn't play you. Oklahoma would have played anybody, and they would have beat Miami that year.
We would have beat the brakes off Miami
simply because that team was not going to lose.
No,
there was nothing going to cause them to lose.
Well, they weren't as. Their offense was not as good as Florida State's, and we shut Florida State completely down.
Right.
I mean, 0 offensive points.
They didn't. Let's face it, Florida State didn't score a point in that game. Oklahoma gave them
both. Yes.
It was a bad
Miami
snap.
just needs to shut their mouth.
But so
we're gonna choke them with that turnover chain. That'd be good. Wouldn't it?
So I mean, their popularity, it's going to be Baker, but I'm with you. I think probably Bradford was the most.
I go Kyler. I think Kyler. That's just me, though. I think Kyler can just do more. He can do more than everyone.
Yeah,
he's the most talented guy of all.
Well, if he beats Alabama,
if he wins that championship,
concrete his legend.
Yeah, I mean if he beats Alabama and Clemson, okay, his Heisman statue better be twice as big as everybody else's.
Honestly, I think all he's got to do is beat Alabama. Seriously, I really do.
I was telling Rob earlier, we're the only conference that hasn't won a game yet in the college football playoffs.
Yeah,
so we just get that one win.
Reminding us of that, kid.
I know. It's just, we're the one conference, and if we win it all this year, only the Pac-12 will be the only one that hasn't won it all. But
see, and another thing, Caleb brought it up. What number 1 seed has won?
Well, so far, no team's undefeated has won so far.
But no number 1 seed has won.
No number 1 seed's won it. Well, maybe Bama might have won one.
Nope.
They weren't.
I looked at it.
Yeah, I know that there's never been an undefeated champion. Then we're the only team in there hasn't lost. That's not undefeated. So that's history on our side right now, at least.
Yeah, the number 1 team has never won it. So, hey, the odds are on our side.
Well, may the odds ever be in your favor, right?
So yeah, some odds on.
So here's the other. Are we wearing our Bring the Wood away jerseys?
I don't know what they announced yet. I'm sure they'll announce here soon what we're wearing.
Do you think Lincoln is superstitious?
Yes, I do.
We're undefeated in those uniforms.
Because he bring them out. You remember he talked about it, him changing shirts in wasn't it the Army game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it was. I know that you think it was, but I don't know. I think it's because he's sweating and he's pitting, or I don't know what he was uncomfortable, whatever. But
okay, what would you do if Lincoln Riley came out in a baseball cap?
He took a visor off. He's wearing no visor for a little bit, so
nothing.
What would you have done if Bob Stoops would have walked out for a game in a baseball cap?
Well, I would definitely think that was odd, but
do you think Bob Stoops wore a visor because it was stylish, or that he?
See, I think Bob is a scene setter, a style setter. Bob walks out and he's like, "Get on my level."
Or you mean Spurrier's a style setter? Because why would you wear a visor at a night game? It makes no sense at all.
Well, hey, Alabama, Bear Bryant. Do you know he didn't wear wasn't it a fedora? Isn't that what it's called?
Yeah.
A fedora hat?
That's the ugliest hat in the world, by the way.
No, Bear Bryant was awesome, dude.
Still, the hat was ugly.
But do you know where he never wore it?
Indoors?
Yeah, in the Sugar Bowl.
Oh.
He never, because it was indoors, and his mom told him you don't wear a hat indoors.
Houndstooth is ugly, by the way.
Who?
Houndstooth.
Houndstooth.
That's the style.
Oh, okay.
It's not even a color. It's like a design. Houndstooth. That's what. That's the color. That's
Man,
the
Rob,
design.
You're like
on his fedora.
On his fedora.
I thought it was just checkers.
No.
You know how he did get his nickname? Why they called him Bear Bryant, don't you?
No, I don't.
Because he wrestled a bear when he was like 16.
Right.
I don't believe that. He's not Khabib.
You talk about legends growing.
No, my dad was a big Bear Bryant. He had the book, Bear Bryant, and he wrestled a bear. Google it.
So you say you can't lie in books?
Google it.
If that's just pictures of it, I don't believe it. Like,
I'm not Googling it.
Don't let Rob Google it because it'll take 732 days.
I've seen videos of Khabib wrestling a bear. I don't think there's any pictures of Bear
I
Bryant.
believe there is pictures of Bear Bryant wrestling a bear, boxing a bear or
Hey,
something.
Siri, why does Bear Bryant called Bear Bryant?
You know,
We'll see what Siri says. I just want you to tell me. I don't want to look it up. She's not telling me, so
she's
I don't know.
telling you to. Did you push the button to go check it out?
No, I don't want to do that.
Caleb, Google it.
I don't care about Bear Bryant.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
All right, I'll do it. All right, I'll do it.
No, you're not.
All right, Siri. Here we go again. Are you ready? What? Dang it. I hate you, Siri. Hey, Siri, why does Bear Bryant name Bear?
How did Bear Bryant get the nickname, should we say?
She found something anyway.
Why does Bear Bryant's name for prayer?
Coach Paul Bear Bryant. Poem. Poem. The life and legacy of Paul Bear Bryant. Here we go. All right. All right. So this is going to be good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It says his legacy was greatly overstated. And what is this? Headphones. Why do I gotta look at? I'm not looking that up.
So just trust me. Go look. Y'all can Google it. We can't let Caleb doesn't care to know. Rob can't do it. But
well, over time, I mean, what's it going to be in the next 20 years? Not only did he wrestle a bear,
it was either a
family of bears.
It was either it was like at a carnival.
Oh.
And it was back in the day when you'd show up at a carnival and pay 2 pennies to get in, and they would tell you they're going to give you a loaf of bread if you got in the ring with a grizzly bear or a black bear. That's basically what it was. But I promise you,
a loaf of bread and a live chicken. Here you go.
that was the day back then.
I'm thinking no on that.
Yeah.
You want to get in the ring with a bear for a loaf of bread? No, I don't.
But you may not have had a loaf of bread in 3 weeks, Rob.
Listen, I will take your loaf of bread before I get into the ring with a bear.
It's gone.
So would you get in? Would you get in the ring with Mike Tyson for $3 million?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll take a dive for $3 million. Just throw one punch close to my face, I'll fall
Listen,
down.
I'm just gonna bum rush him and hope for the best.
I mean, I watched that documentary.
But you wouldn't do that with a bear?
No, a bear can kill you.
No. I mean, God made them so that they're perfect killers.
I mean, Mike Tyson's one hit, he's done. He will stop. The bear won't stop. And he might, when they do get him to stop, he would he'd already be eating you. You have some battle scars. Tyson hits you once.
I mean,
you're
a bear
done.
could kill you just playing, just because.
Just he got the notion.
I mean, if Mike Tyson connects with me perfectly, he could kill me. But listen, I'm not going to just stand there and let him hit me.
Well, true. Okay.
So
there's another thing I've been wanting to bring up too before we get into the Alabama talk. It's the holiday season. Merry Christmas out there, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good holiday season. What is something about this time of year right now, Rob, that makes you happy?
pecan pie.
Pecan pie. Okay. Caleb?
I think just music, the music and the memories. It brings up memories. So, music and just seeing the lights and stuff for me.
Do you know what I love about this time of year?
What's that?
Pepperolis. From Mazzio's.
Yeah.
The little pepperoni pizza cinnamon roll looking things.
Uh-huh.
They only make them in December.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I still win because pecan pie is better.
Pecan pie, but man, you only get pepperolis one time a year. I order them like 3 times or 4 times. Teresa doesn't like them. Caleb, only if he gets drunk, he'll eat half of mine. And when I come to get me some the next day, I open up I bought a dozen of them, and I saved 6 for the next day, and I open them up, and they go, you ate my pepperonis. Just one. You ate 2. No, I ate just one. There's 4 left, Caleb.
Well, I only remember one, so that's all that matters.
But if you have you had the pepperonis?
I think I have. Yep, sounds good.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a big fan of cinnamon rolls and pepperoni.
Yeah, but it's like basically they get a pizza and roll it up, cut it like you do a.
So it tastes like pizza.
Yeah, it's a pizza. And
It's a pizza. Yeah, it's just like
It
just
just
cheese.
looks like a cinnamon roll.
It looks like
I
cinnamon roll.
feel
It's
like
cheese and
Maybe we're a
pepperoni.
little too excited for this.
Oh no.
That's what he likes a lot.
Because I can take a pizza and just roll it up and eat that.
We've done it before here. We made those little ones here. Those
Yeah,
little
but
bagel
see,
things.
like the last 4 or 5 Christmas Eves, that's what I order for Christmas Eve dinner is some pepperonis.
Yeah. Well, I've been really disappointed lately because I order everything.
Yeah.
Like I even order my groceries.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't deliver vanilla spice eggnog, and so I'm a little bit disappointed with that. Got to be honest with you.
Now, you're getting it home delivered now, aren't you?
It's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I'm not even kidding.
Now, you'll have to understand, Rob, about 6 months ago, was just so excited because he could order his groceries online and pull up to Walmart, and then he found out
They'll deliver
they'll deliver.
$10. I'm like, oh yeah.
and you got to understand, Rob lives so far away from Walmart.
Well,
I thought you were about the newer ones.
He does. That's the joke.
I could almost hit a driver into the back of Walmart from where I live.
But he still
So
pays.
it's $10.
Well, I
He
mean-
pays $10 to have his groceries delivered 250 yards.
Right? I live up 2 flights of stairs though. But, I just hate Walmart. Like, have you ever just been standing in Walmart and let's just say you're standing in front of, I don't care, pick something.
Yeah.
You're standing, you're blocking something. Somebody, and I'm gonna just say it, women, no offense, women, but they will walk up and they're like, what is he blocking? And they're just like trying to see around you, so then you move down a little bit. And then now you're blocking something else.
Yeah.
And so you got to keep moving. And I'm like, woman, walk around me because I'm not moving again. Like, what is going on here? I hate Walmart. So I don't even have to mess with it.
And plus, you always run into people there at Walmart that you know.
Well, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah. Well, sometimes. I
Most
mean,
of the time.
some people you don't mind running into, and then there's others you'd rather not run into. But I ran into our old buddy Cliff the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's old Cliffy doing?
Oh, he's doing great. But hadn't seen him in a couple of years. So there was 30 minutes of our lives gone, mine and Cliff's, that we're never getting back again.
Right.
From standing in the middle of Walmart.
Best story from football, one of them, was when I met Cliff at our first practice.
Okay. What?
You know how he's always excited.
Oh, yeah,
right?
he's excited.
So I walk up to him, and he is just chowing down on this sandwich. I'm like, hey, man, what do you Coach Rob here, what do you got going on or whatever? I don't know, but he's eating this sandwich. It looks like 2 pieces of toast with some spinach in the middle. And he goes, it's a spinach sandwich. I'm like, oh, that sounds good. Oh, I got another one. You want it, man? And he just would not take no for an answer. Now, I didn't take it, but it was hilarious. I guess you had to be there a little bit. But
Eating a spinach sandwich.
spinach sandwich.
Never had a spinach sandwich.
Yeah,
you had
me
a
neither.
spinach sandwich, Caleb?
I didn't even know it was a thing.
No.
Yeah. Ugh. Doesn't sound good.
But hey, he made it sound like it was a T-bone. I'm not even kidding you. That's how positive Cliff was back in the day.
Yeah, but I ran into old Cliff, and we were, like I said, 30 minutes. We just sat there and caught up, But the thing is, if I'd have ran into him the next day, it would have stood another 30 minutes again. You know what I mean? That's just,
Yeah.
that's what you run into people at Walmart. You gotta.
Who's got that kind of time?
Nobody, but that's what But again, Rob pays $10 to have.
Yeah.
Damn, Rob, I'll go get your groceries for
And
$10.
I think it's cheap. I'd pay 20.
You're gonna hear that.
Do you tip them?
Yeah.
So you probably do pay $20 to have your groceries delivered to football fields.
Dude's carrying a case of water up 2 flights of stairs. And I'm like, I don't have to do that.
All right.
If I could have one of those dumbwaiters off my balcony, I'd be like, put it in the thing, and then I got the rope. Really, I would do that. I would. I'm not even kidding you.
Oh. Okay. So it still cracks me. You pay $10. Thank you,
Dude, it's a deal. I'm not even kidding.
It's a deal if you lived 5 miles from Walmart, not 5 yards.
Nothing to do with it, man. It
Do you,
ain't got anything to
do you
with
stand
this.
at your window looking out, waiting on him to pull
No,
up?
there's an app.
It's apps to let you know it's
Oh.
close.
Man, they tell me right when they pull up.
So you go and unlock the door, open it up.
Yeah, dude brings it right in.
Is it always a dude?
I'm like, no, it's a chick once. She was lost for about 20 minutes though.
So your food was late?
Well, you got an hour, so it's like, I normally have it delivered on like Saturday morning from between 8 and 9 a.m.
Jeez. Bet you they love you.
Well, they're up there. They have to turn their apps on. So I mean,
Yeah.
they're up and about for them to do it. So it's some people's jobs. So I'm
Just
pretty
sitting
sure
there
they're happy
drinking
doing that.
I'm still in my PJs, and I'm like, come on in. Don't mind the mess. Of course, you know what my apartment looks like, so it's hardly ever messy.
It's one chair and a TV.
One
and,
chair and a big TV.
and an empty bowl of cereal next to the chair.
Empty cup of coffee. Bunch of books on the side table.
Books, not magazines, right?
See, I don't have like a
Bookshelf.
bookshelf. That's it. Thank you for that. That was a big word. I don't have a bookshelf or anything, so they just stack up on the side table until they start falling off the back. And I'm like, well, if it fell off the back, I must have already read it, so
Yeah.
it just stays on the floor in the back of the table. But
So do you think we ought to talk about Alabama for a little bit? Caleb?
It's sure. There's not much to talk about since nothing's
Well-
changed. I mean, Tua looks healthy, so that's pretty much the only thing.
Did you see the video of their defense playing against guys with number 5s on, and they were trying to jam them?
Yeah.
no, I did not.
Yes. There's a video some reporter was taking, and it was, the receivers working on, or the cornerbacks working on covering Oklahoma. Thing is that their corners were getting beat by their receivers.
Oh.
So,
They have good receivers, though. I'll say that.
yeah. But,
Interesting concept. Jamming the receiver at the line of scrimmage, right?
yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure they've watched, all, 13 games that we watch, and how many of those teams do you think tried to jam Oklahoma at the line? I don't think anybody did.
I think Texas can. I think
Yeah.
Texas did. I gotta watch them. I'm just going guessing, but I think Texas. They actually have athletes that actually can run. So with us, so they actually try to do
There
it.
ain't nobody can run with
Hollywood,
Hollywood.
not very many.
There's probably someone playing Bama. Probably. I mean, that one Waddle dude's freaking fast as hell. That
Waddle
guy.
can, but luckily he plays offense.
that Waddle guy is crazy fast. I was watching that Georgia game. He was from the 30-yard line to the end zone in like 3 seconds. Like,
Yeah,
what
when
the
he
heck
turned the
happened?
Jets on, they wasn't catching
Yeah,
him.
it's like
So, keys to the game, keys to Oklahoma winning. Caleb, what do you think they are?
Hollywood's healthy. It's the main one.
Hollywood's
I
healthy.
mean, Hollywood healthy is the main thing. If he's not healthy, I don't think we have a chance. So, I mean, he's the main thing. I think if he's healthy, yeah, that's my main one right there.
Any others?
Just get a couple stops. Hopefully, just turn the ball over, get turnovers. We need turnovers to win. They can score. Like we need to force turnovers. So I mean, but my main thing is Hollywood. Like if there's no Hollywood, then we're in big trouble.
Okay, no Hollywood, we lose.
Yes, guaranteed we lose.
It's balance.
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 That's real huge too. Yeah.
Yeah, if they shut down the run game, it could be a long day
Yeah.
for us. It really could.
Any other ones?
Well, so anything else would involve the defense, and since we have zero confidence or expectations for the defense, it's hard to say.
I'm gonna talk about that. Our defense just has to be opportunistic.
Okay.
Okay, when it's available, make the play. We can't drop an interception. Okay, if the ball hits the ground, we got to recover it.
Mm-hmm.
How many interceptions did we drop this year?
Like 30.
So,
Even though when we had against Texas, hit the guy in the hands before the other guy caught it. So I mean, he's lucky the guy was behind him.
Now, granted, we were better in the closing games. We got the safety. We got the 2 fumble recoveries against West Virginia. Our defense was opportunistic all year long, when it came down to it. But they're going to have to do the same thing. They have got to get the turnover when it happens, because it's going to happen. You know, I mean, no, there's going to be a play, Rob. There has been in every game that you and I, that let's say away game, let's just say that, because those are the games that you and I watch, and the Texas game, that we jumped up and went, you got to catch the ball on defense. Correct?
Yeah.
So every game we should have had an interception that
For
we
sure,
dropped.
yeah.
So they cannot drop interceptions. They've got to create the turnovers to get stops.
Yeah.
If they can't do that, it's going to be a long day, because, but they're so opportunistic and aggressive. We got to do stuff. This ain't a Big 12 team. You know, that's what we've all said. That's what we've all heard. Man, it's hard to play defense against these Big 12 teams. Well, now you got an SEC team. Play defense.
Well, there's a whole lot riding on this game as far as whose trash talk is right. Because, you know, they're saying, oh, Kyler shouldn't have won the Heisman because y'all play no defenses.
Right.
And we say, yeah, he should have won it because the offenses are so great.
Right.
So if Alabama comes in here and shuts us down, that legitimizes everything that they've been saying and just totally nulls everything.
But do you think that's going to happen?
I think Rob said they shut our run down. I think it's going to be a long night for us. I mean,
well, do I think that's? I don't know. I want to say no, Terry, but Alabama's good.
Yeah, I mean, they're good. I mean, but I just don't see them shutting this offense down. I mean, nobody's done it yet. I mean, the only team that really did it was Army, and that's because they never gave us the damn ball.
Well, Texas, I mean, we scored what? We didn't score that much against Texas. Both
the
times.
First game, they shut us down for 3 quarters, and then we just broke out.
Yeah.
So if it depends on their defensive coordinator. If he draws up a play that really, I guess you could say it comes down to coaching.
Yeah.
If they draw up a better defensive plan, then we can, go offensively. And quite honestly, we've had some bad luck where things didn't go our way, and things kind of snowballed on us. To be honest with you, but once we got our feet back planted again, then we took off, and I think that was the first 3 quarters of the first OU Texas game.
Right.
I don't, if we start off fast with Alabama, we go down there and just ding, put 7 on the board, then we've got a fighter's chance.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. I don't think Oklahoma's been in much smack talk. I know that several defenders from Alabama have taken offense to the Tua not getting it, and that Oklahoma is saying that that he got so many because y'all don't play anybody. Well, we got the best defenses in the country. I mean, well, yeah, the SEC does have the best defense, but are they really that much better than the other?
Well, I think
defenses?
3 of them are good.
Yeah.
I think the rest, however many people are in the SEC, are trash.
Right.
They're not any better than anybody else in the country.
Right. I mean, we put up 50 some odd points against one of the best defenses in the country last year, and it's an SEC.
They were the best defense.
Yeah.
They're number 1 defense last year.
So, I don't see any reason with really a more talented quarterback who's put up better numbers than last year's quarterback.
I do think the run game is the issue. I don't think the run game is as good. Well, if Kenny Brooks plays more, then maybe, but I still don't know why he wasn't out there.
I don't know.
So if we put up 56 on Georgia last year, if we put up 56 on Alabama this year, do we win?
I don't know. That's what's scary about the Alabama team.
Well, nobody has ever scored 60 points on Alabama ever. So
yeah, well, you know what? This may be the first year I don't know the running back from Alabama's name.
I don't know him either.
I don't know his name either, but I know one of them was the number 1 recruit in the country. Shocker there, but but he was like number 1 guy in the country. He's a second string guy too, so he'll be like that time we played against him last time when the Derrick Henry came out there and just destroyed us every play.
It was like, well, thank God they kept putting him back on the bench.
He had 2 carries for like 287 yards. I'm like, ugh.
But I don't know, man. I'm quietly confident. Just something tells me, this game is going to go Oklahoma's way. It just, I don't know why. It just, the last year, I'm not like we were, I thought we were going to, we did light up Georgia, and I was under the firm belief that Mike Stoops knows how to defend these offenses. We're going to shut these guys down, and we did for 2 quarters, and then it got out of hand.
And then there were holes big enough to drive a truck through. Let's not bring that game up.
But, on the other end, how does, what's the defensive plan, for us, or is oh boy, just went blank. Ruffin McNeil sitting here going, okay, now we're going to put you in a defense that you can play. You're not going to have to be spread out running all over the place.
This is also like the first time they had like practice really since he's been the head coach too. So I mean they had that 1 week with Stoops, but they actually have time to get stuff in there.
Yeah.
Well, so, I don't know. Like I said, I've been confident he was going to win, we lost. And I haven't been confident we won. So I'm not confident. Hopefully that means we're going to win. But I'm not confident at all in this game. By the time we get there, it's like this month thing is like I think it's going. I think when we first got announced, all right, let's make it. Hopefully it's a good game. I think as each day goes by, the Shrimp Burns getting more and more confident that we're going to win the game. It's just I won't believe it until the game kicks off, and then that's all I'll be like, all right, we're going to win this game. But I'm not confident at all still until it's just hard for me to see it right now. I just don't think we're a complete team. I think our offense is so great. It's just like I said, I'd like to still we always win. So
yeah,
I'm more happy to be wrong with this.
Yeah, I mean, right, but it's rightfully so because I mean, our defense hasn't give us, our defense last year. I mean, we shut down Ohio State. We had a little bit of hope. This defense hasn't shut down anybody.
Mm-hmm. Like last year, we're going in the playoffs strong. Like they actually the last 4 games, they were like causing turnovers, shutting people down. Like they're doing a lot of good stuff. And then this last 2 weeks, West Virginia scored 50 points. Like if we went like we did against West Virginia, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
But that Texas game, they play really well. So I mean, Ellinger still did what he wanted to, but I think the two guys that scare me a lot. I think the receivers scare me a lot too. So I mean, I think they're probably the best receiving core we've seen all year, which is crazy to say, but their receiving core is really good. That Judy and that Waddle guy is ridiculous. So.
And they're big.
Waddle's and they're physical.
Big, but Judy is.
Judy's a big dude.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know, it's just. Like I said, hope I'm wrong. I'll happily be wrong. So I just can't do it yet. I won't get hurt again.
I knew a Judy once.
You dated a Judy once?
No, but I knew one.
Oh,
wasn't a dude either.
I know one, Judge Judy.
Have you ever dated a Judy?
I don't think so. I don't even know a girl.
Yeah, but his name was Frank.
I don't even know any girl's named Judy.
Yeah, it's kind of an old style name.
That's all I know is Judge Judy. That's it. I don't even know her. I know she's crazy rich. So
yeah, she's kind of crazy too.
Are those real court cases too?
Yes, they get them out of the courthouses, and they tell people to settle it here and accept the agreement. They have to sign a deal, and she does it just like a real court.
That's crazy,
but it's not really real.
What's that? So
it's kind of like WWE.
So it's kind of staged. She already knows who she's going to pick beforehand.
Probably.
Well, people are falling down and stuff and getting slammed down, but they know who's going to win.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like what Joe Rogan said. You remember when we saw him about he got in trouble for calling.
Who said it's all fake?
No, he called it gay.
Oh yeah.
WWF wrestling's gay, and he's like, I got 4 million misspelled emails.
Whatever he thinks. I mean, they got some by Fox, so they're a huge freaking thing. But yeah, I mean, UFC, they're a bunch of guys rolling up on each other too. So I mean, what he covers, and they're wearing probably less sometimes than the.
So now you're comparing WWF to.
Well, UFC's trying to be like them, like promotion wise.
Yeah,
and they're trying to make that.
Rob, have you seen the 30-on-30 and the Mike Tyson or Buster Douglas?
42-1.
42-1.
Watched it last night.
That's an awesome.
Yeah, really good.
Do you think Tyson won when he knocked him down? Think it's still count?
Probably, but
Yeah, it is what it
You
is.
guys
an
asked,
exact science
you
on
guys
that.
asked whooped the whole time. Besides that,
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Buster Douglas.
I mean,
if
it's
it goes
just-
to decision, Buster Douglas wins.
I don't think so.
Oh no, he was ahead on every card.
Yeah, but
Every card.
Oh, they actually have him ahead.
Yeah, he was ahead
I
on-
don't believe that for a second. I don't believe there's too much money involved with Tyson versus Holyfield.
Holyfield. Yeah, that's
a lot of people say that the money was in the mob, and they told Tyson, "You better lose this fight, or we're going to kill you."
Maybe that's why his trainer had the freaking ice thing. That was
Yeah.
crazy. They
Yeah,
didn't have that.
They didn't even pack it on the
He's
airplane.
never needed one. Never needed one. That's how bad Mike Tyson was. I'm gonna tell you, Mike
know.
Tyson was a
He
bad
was a
dude.
bad dude.
I'm
Now
not-
he hurt
Douglas
his
got-
legacy when he bit the ear off it.
Yeah,
And then-
yeah. He off of.
I'm pretty sure him going in jail and that stuff probably hurt his legacy more.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
But I mean, that's once he lost his trainer, he knew that's probably
yeah.
it, you know?
Customato was the only guy
He
that
respected.
he had any respect for. And if Cuss told him not to do something, he wouldn't do it. If Cuss told him to straighten up, he straightened up.
Yeah.
Once he was gone, you know, he
had
didn't.
Don
He
King.
had
Come
no
on.
respect, but he didn't even respect Don King. He had no respect if somebody told him this is for the best of you. Is like, you don't know me. That was his attitude. You know?
That's great with Don King per se. You guys a quitter.
Yeah.
You got this fight because of this. Which I don't agree. From what I saw in the documentary, I don't agree. That's a one fight. He looked like he kind of quit in that fight.
Yeah.
That was one fight though. After that, he won like 5 in a row. After that again. So I mean,
Well, that was Buster Douglas's best fight in his entire
well,
career.
even said
I
he
promise
trained.
you.
He trained like his. That's the first time he was actually really in good shape. And
Yeah.
Like pretty much they always said like he had all in the documentary. They say he had all the tools to be great. He's never put all the work into it. And that was the first time he
wasn't.
Did it.
He wasn't a natural champion.
he didn't like it. You could tell he didn't like doing it.
He you know, and then when his dad was an ass, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
He got his first big championship fight, and his dad gets in with a shirt with his own name on
I
it.
know. D-bag. But I'm gonna tell you, Buster won the.
Oh,
he
man.
beat him up the whole thing.
Yeah,
There's that
Whole
one
time.
round that Tyson. I'm telling you, that Tyson would have won that. If they went to the card, Tyson would have won that.
but the
Somehow. They
funniest
somehow
funniest
won
thing
it.
is you could tell how bad Mike was hurt. It wasn't fake. You know, he was knocked out because instead of trying to get up, what was he trying to do?
Mouthpiece.
He was trying to get his mouth.
Yeah. And then they had to tell him he got knocked out, and he didn't believe.
Yeah, I
him.
didn't believe him. No, yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
No,
he got knocked out. No, he got punished.
yeah, but you know, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say Mike is still got to be one of the baddest fighters in the
Oh,
entire.
yeah. Well, you know, and he's still a bad dude now. I
I'm
mean,
sure. Yeah.
I was watching on YouTube. Joe Rogan was talking about him, and he went to a deal that he was at, and it was like a photo shoot. And he said Tyson was hitting the bag. He said he would kill somebody. He could still hurt somebody in the ring. He said if you walk into that man in the street, he would kill you with his own bare hands.
Well, he's a lot heavier now. He's probably like 260,
Yeah.
270 now. Isn't he?
And he had video of him. I mean, and he did, dude. He looked like, you know, I mean, George Foreman came back and won the championship when he was 40. Mike Tyson ought to do the same thing. You know, I mean, he's 51. He's my age. Come on, Mike, strap him back up. Go show him what it's all about.
Well, see, now he has other options now. I don't think George Foreman really had other options. But there's the one guy he could never beat though was Holyfield, right? Holyfield was
Yeah,
the guy he's
yeah.
fighting style. So I think Holyfield
Well,
was
it just Holyfield. If Customato was alive, he'd have killed Holyfield. Okay, but because Holyfield didn't have any power. He wasn't a power puncher. Holyfield was a good boxer, and he knew how to box Mike Tyson, and he knew how to frustrate him. And one of the things that frustrated him, Mike Tyson is right. When he bit his ear off, one of the things that was making him mad was he was headbutting him, and he's absolutely right. Evander Holyfield was wrapping him up and slapping him with his head, and kept getting Mike mad.
Oh, I watched the Holyfield 30 for 30. Holyfield, it's so crazy. Like Holyfield, was lost 2 fights in his career.
Yeah.
He doesn't get the respect that he kind of really deserves.
Well, it's
too.
because the reason why is because he wasn't a knockout fighter.
Yeah, he just beat the crap. I mean,
he would
kinda
just beat you.
up.
But he didn't have power.
You
but
would think a guy that huge would be a knockout artist, but he just
He
just
was
a
pretty.
technical power.
Yeah, I mean, he had some guns on him.
But I mean, he would just tie up Mike Tyson and was headbutting him because they, the first fight, that's what they did, and
Was
that's
it waiting it too? Was it referee?
yeah. I mean, no, they wouldn't.
Going up against
A
his
couple
temple
times,
like
but
that?
you just get in there and when he'd move away, he'd slam him in the head.
Yeah.
And I mean, why in the world would you headbutt Mike Tyson? That skull is,
Well, just I'm glad they've showed a lot of his fight footage in the Buster Douglas 42-1.
Yeah.
But they had
because
to-
they showed a lot of Mike.
They had
Yeah.
to build up the monster that Mike was.
The punches.
yeah.
I mean, you can
just-
hear him. He's like pop, pop, and you
Just
see the
lightning
pops,
fast.
and then you see the guy just fall down.
And
Oh, the guy
people
that
were just out.
the guy that knocked out Buster, that guy with the little Jerry Curl.
James
Yeah.
Toney.
Yeah. That one. And then the other guy was in the V-Day. I guess it was a huge fight. Like Magic was, Jordan was there, Phil Nicholson was there.
Yeah.
Who was that he fought? Tyson fought? The guy was undefeated.
Spinks.
Yeah, Spinks. And then he knocked him out in 30 seconds or
Yeah.
something like that.
And that's why
That was
the
nasty.
ring guy never brought the medal. What's it called, Terry?
I can't think. I can't think of what it's called, but it's just a piece of iron.
You should still bring it. You never know what happens, Bob. But it's still, I mean,
Well, I mean, how
long
many
time you
fights
need it.
did he never ever need it?
yeah.
I mean, he was
Yeah.
like 22-0 or something.
I think he went to like one decision. I think his first title one. I think he went to decision.
Yeah, Tony he fought to a decision, and
But they didn't respect the Buster at all. I even said like, I mean, Don King said we got that fight because he thought he quit. He's
Yeah.
a quitter. Like that's why we got that fight.
It was
There's one more fight for him to fight Holyfield. That's the whole reason they had that fight for.
Yeah, but no, I mean, Mike Tyson hit people. I mean,
It was a lot of hits I heard on the TV because every time he hits someone, you hear a pop, and you hear him do that, and you hear this loud pop. You see the sweat go flying off, and the guy's down on the ground. Like,
yeah,
was it that loud in person? Dad,
yeah,
when you were there when he was a kid.
Yeah, when we were in the National Junior Olympics, there's a video out there. I'll show it to you, Rob, when we're done. I can't believe you can't see me in it, but I am right next to where the camera is videoing this fight from. And he's fighting a kid, I want to say he's from Michigan, okay? And this guy was rightfully coached, okay? Which he was taller than Mike. He was jabbing. Just keep your jab in his face. Keep your jab in his face, okay? Problem is that he missed a jab. And Mike hit him one time and
That was it,
knocked
huh?
him out.
Nice.
And it was the one, if you saw the show, the series on Mike Tyson, where his coach calls and he's like, 3 seconds or something like that. He knocked him out in 3. No, he knocked him out in 5, and he goes, no. And he goes, 5. I thought amateur fights were only 3. He goes, no, 5 seconds. And it wasn't, he knocked him down and the guy laid down. He knocked him out. And that was the first fight I was watching. You always, when we were there, you had to watch you always wanted to watch your opponent to see what they had. And I was like, ooh.
Because y'all like, so when y'all saw him, like he's big old buff kid, but you heard him talk for the first
Yeah,
time.
he had a little-
You guys,
A little squeaky voice.
so do you think it is like this guy wasn't gonna be that good when you heard him talk, or were you like,
No, you could tell the dude was massive. I mean, his ear. I never saw a guy flex his earlobes before. Mike Tyson could flex his earlobes. Dude. And he fought a guy from Detroit, his first fight, and the referee finally stopped it. They really should have stopped it and disqualified Tyson because Tyson hit him with everything but the ring post. Okay, he hit this kid with elbows, forearms, because he knew how to throw the punch. That's how pros fight. You get in close, you throw a left hook, and you bring your elbow back up underneath your chin. And this kid was trying to get away from him the whole fight, and Tyson chased him all over that ring, and like I said, hit him with everything but the ring post, hit him on the bottom of the shoes, I think. He hit him everywhere. And the referee finally stopped it, but he warned Tyson 3 times for throwing elbows. And you can't throw elbows in amateur boxing. And you really can't throw them in pro boxing, but it's kind of looked away. But yeah, dude, seeing that kid, he was 15 years old. We were both 15 years old.
5 years later, you won world champion.
Yeah, and when you saw him, it was like, oh my God, this dude. And he walked with his head down. He would talk to you if you said hi. He would say hi to you, but he kept to himself. They kept him away from everybody, but he walked with it, and he bobbed his head back and forth just like this. Just y'all can't see this, but I look pretty cool because I look like Mike Tyson walking right now.
Well, hey, the footage of him and I don't know who it was. Great big muscular dude. He hit him. I don't know. It was seconds in the first round, and the dude tried to get up 3 times and couldn't get up.
Yeah,
They said it's first 3 knockdown, 1 hit, 1 hit, 3 knockdown.
yeah, because the guy fell back down.
Right.
Fell back down.
Listen, how hard you got to get hit where you can't get up even on the 3rd time?
Let's see, Tyson
I mean-
was before I was alive, really. So did y'all like buy all of his fights? Did you like watch all of
We
them?
didn't have to. We didn't have pay-per-view back
It was
then.
HBO,
Yeah, we
right,
did.
though?
I saw the Spinks fight on pay-per-view at my
Really?
boss's house. Yeah, he was pissed. You know what pissed him off the most about it? The fight lasted that long, and they did interviews, and they were still interviewing, and it cut off and said, you did not pay for this part of the broadcast. It's like, what do you mean I didn't pay for that?
I think I watched them all on I thought I did. Maybe I didn't.
Yeah. But now you remember the little slide Cox cable things. If you set them right between the numbers, you could get certain channels.
I don't know.
Maybe that's how you.
I don't know.
But there was a couple. I mean, I bought the Holyfield fight.
I remember watching the Holyfield fights. I remember watching the earbuff one.
Yeah.
I was like 5, but I remember that because I don't know how I remember that one, but I remember that one.
We had a bunch of people over at the
I
house.
had a lot of people over.
That cost me a bunch of money too, because everybody had Tyson was going to beat him, and I was like, I had like 7 or 8 $20 bets, and I was like, I'm just telling you, Teresa was like freaked out, and it was people that were coming to my house. They were going to pay me, but I wouldn't take their money.
Well,
You know.
don't make bets. You don't take the money. You're talking
Well,
about.
I mean, come on.
Don't bet me then if you want to take my money.
No, I mean he
No, are you saying you bet on Douglas?
No, he bet on.
I
He bet on Holyfield.
Holyfield to beat Tyson, and Holyfield won, but it was because Tyson got disqualified for biting his ear off, and I was
Right.
like, no, I'm not going to take your money for that. I mean, it wasn't a fight. I mean, Holyfield was winning.
If it was
but
opposite, do you think they would have done the same thing, Dad?
probably not, but I'm a good guy.
So if you go back and watch all his fights, Caleb, you can watch the entirety of them all in about a minute and a
Well,
half.
I know his before Buster won, like they're just dominant. I mean, they pretty much showed them all before, like he on that 30 for 30, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, you remember $1 Million Baby where he was like pulling the stool out of the ring and the girl drops and he's like, dang it, didn't even get the stool out, and he's putting this, that's pretty much what a Mike Tyson fight was.
Another thing, Mike Tyson, what he didn't wear when he fought?
Socks.
You know why?
No.
Because
Smells?
no, it was gladiators never wore socks.
Oh.
And he wanted to feel like a Roman gladiator. Dude, don't roll your eyes. Roll your eyes at Mike Tyson.
Come on, Big Mike. Wear some socks up.
Yeah.
'Cause, ooh.
But
Well, you didn't need him either. I mean,
Yeah.
just knocked him out in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
but
And you know what? A lot of people, even back then, like my dad was real skeptical. These guys are taking falls. You can't. He was hitting them down.
You can't. That Mike Tyson
hard.
won.
Yeah.
They might have told him he'd go in there and get knocked out, but I'm pretty sure that's pretty easy to do with him. Get hit once or you're done. Like you're dead.
Like the hit that Douglas knocked Mike out,
mhm.
that uppercut, that was his signature punch,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think.
Well, I mean, Mike hit him with the uppercut early. He hit him once. It stunned him real bad. You saw Douglas go, oh, crap.
So
And then that's when Mike attacked him, and then pretty much he did knock him out, but then he got up on the count.
But here's the other thing that we're talking about wrestling a bear, fighting Mike Tyson. Okay,
Is that how we got here?
earlier for $1 million, but would you get in the ring with Mike Tyson? But you had to stay up for 2 rounds.
I couldn't. I wouldn't be able to do it.
You wouldn't do it.
I don't get
mean,
to sit
I
down
would
at
try
all.
to, but I wouldn't be
I'm
able to.
gonna
I
get
mean,
tired.
you got to go 2 rounds with
So he
it.
knocks me out, and I have to get back up. He knocks me out again.
I don't think you could last that long.
Professional
'Cause literally,
boxers
he
can't
could,
last that long.
yeah, he could break your ribs. I don't think you could
One
last that
punch.
long.
But
I mean,
okay,
I'd
one,
try, but-
you wouldn't get in the ring.
Oh, I'd try it.
So if we don't get it, they won't get any money.
you don't get any money.
Well, no one's gonna get any money. then.
Okay, they'll
Like
give
there's not even a
they'll give you 10,000 if you if you get knocked out, but
Right, it's worth
if you don't make it around. But
Well, you used to watch that bully beatdown. Like they do that for them. Like pretty much the guys mess around with them. Like all right, enough of this. Let's knock him out real fast.
did you ever see that show Bully Beatdown?
no.
It was on MTV. Like pretty much they brought them in. These MMA fighters brought them to beat up these kids are bullies. And they pretty much say, yeah, if you ask like each round, you get like $1,000, and you get $5,000 and $10,000. And I think
So
only one guy made 3 rounds.
If somebody was bullying you or you didn't like somebody and they were always picking on you, you could go to the Bully Beatdown and they would match this guy. They would tell him, you're the bully. You've been bullying this guy. He wants you to get in the ring with these guys. And they do 1 round of wrestling, 1 round of boxing, and 1 round of kickboxing or
the grappling.
grappling. And eventually the UCF fighter would just get bored with.
They'll play around with them. Like, hey, you like this? You like this? Son? Like, and if I like, I don't want you to win no money, and they just like make them tap out real fast.
But then there was that one guy.
There was one guy went all the way with
three.
them.
Went all 3 rounds with him. But I mean, it was just basically.
The host wasn't very happy about that.
Yeah.
The host talks more crap than anyone else.
What was his name?
It was Mayhem. That guy's crazy.
Yeah. But you have to YouTube that, Rob. Watch some Bully Beatdown sometime.
Okay.
But anyway, well, we got off of the subject for a little bit, but we talked sports. So, anyway, this is the only podcast this week. We'll probably do another one next Sunday before the game.
Game week.
It'll be game week next week. So, we'll have something lined up for you next week. We'll only do one next week too, because got Christmas on Tuesday. I've got family coming and a whole bunch of other stuff. So, but that's about all. We're not going to do another one this week, right, guys? I'm thinking out loud now. I don't know.
Okay, so
I'm available because, I have my groceries delivered, so I got time on my hands.
So if anybody wants to make an extra $10,
I mean, it's just a time saver.
yeah, just, direct message us. And if you'll go pick up Rob's groceries for him, he'll pay you $10 instead of the guy that normally delivers it. So
I get up, right? I get my coffee, like I sit down, drink my coffee, and then my groceries get there. And now I've got the whole rest of my day to do stuff with. I don't have to go shopping and deal with people in Walmart. It's just easy.
man, if they had full service gas stations, you'd be in heaven, wouldn't you?
Yeah, probably.
just need a chauffeur.
Yeah. So,
Uber.
do you
Just Uber
remember
everywhere.
full service gas stations?
Well, my dad owned one when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You'd pull in, they'd
They still have them. Like they have they're illegal not to be full service. They get to have a gas license. I think in Ohio, something like that.
Now, as I understand it, in Oregon,
Oregon, yeah, Oregon. They if you don't have a gas fueling card, you can get arrested or get fined for it.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's
my point is back in the day when I was a kid, you'd pull into the gas station. They would, you'd roll down your window, give me $5 a regular, which was like 72 gallons of gas back then.
yeah,
And they would pop your, they'd tell you to pop your hood. They would check your oil. They'd clean all your windows, check your tire pressure, all before they were done pumping your gas. And they would send you on your way. And you didn't tip them or anything like
it's been
that.
a long time since it's been like that.
Yeah.
Let's go to Oregon.
There were two gas stations we used to go to, but one of them was the Scarborough service station and garage. And that was, they were friends with my dad. And Ralph Scarborough, he'd come out, and put the gas in. Then we started going to Get and Go because it was cheaper. And we had a Galaxy 500, okay, which is about the size of my house.
Mm-hmm.
Had like a 30-gallon tank. I will never forget my dad. I never saw us put more than $5 worth of gas in that thing. My dad would give us a $5 bill and say, go tell them $5 regular. And we'd drive on that for a week. But anyway, that's the podcast for today, guys. Thank you for listening. Remember, just like always, to follow us, subscribe, get ready for the game, start getting your game face on.
Get face paint.
Get your face paint, get your lucky jersey, your lucky underwear, your lucky socks, because Rob doesn't believe in that stuff, and we need all of it we can get. But we will see y'all next week. Boomer Rob.
Boomer Terry.
Boomer Caleb.
Boomer.
Thanks for listening to the Sooner Football Fans Podcast. Hit the subscribe button right now on whatever app you're listening to download every episode as they come out. Check us out on Twitter and Facebook and on YouTube. Boomer Sooner.